In this demo, I'd like to show you some cool new tools in Lightwave 8 for working with layers. What I've done here is loaded in a multi-layered object, just this little box robot that you may have seen in some of the Dynamics demos. And what I'd like to do is show you over here in View. We've got some layer tools that may seem simple, but as simple as they are, they'll come in very handy. They already have come in real handy for me. Say I want to add a layer between these two layers. Well, I've got kind of the head and body pieces in this layer. I've got the arms and hands there and the legs in this layer. Well, what I can do is I can come over here to Insert Layer, and it'll actually create a blank layer between the head and body and the arms here. I can also select a layer that's in between and delete layer, and it gets rid of that layer and it moves over each one of these layers, which comes in real handy when you're working on an object and you've got lots of layers and you want to start kind of getting rid of some of the junk, like maybe Boolean temp objects or something like that. You want to kind of clean up your layering system. Another cool layer tool that I've just been using all over the place for my robot models is, let me go ahead and I'm going to select the layer that has the legs. I'm going to cut those and I'm going to place them in a new object. Paste. Okay, so I've got multiple objects open. You probably are having trouble seeing it because it's off screen, but basically I have this object here, and I've got the unnamed object that I just copied the legs over to. Now here's something that's really cool. Let me come over to my Construct tab and open up the Object Collapser tool. Now what this does is it allows me to, if I wanted to, I could just take, if I had a multi-layered object and I wanted it to be collapsed down into one object, it's not like cutting all layers and pasting them into one layer. It actually will cut all the layers and create a new object for it, which is cool. But what's even better is I can select all loaded. So that means all objects loaded, not just all layers in one object. So I have this object back here that has the arms, head, and body, and in the other object I have the legs. I could have just loaded two separate objects. And let's go ahead and give it a name. So I'm going to layer test. And I have some options right here. I could collapse them all into one single layer in a new object, or I could go ahead and move them all over into separate layers. I'm gonna go ahead and do single layer, layer test, all loaded objects, okay. And what we have is the layer test object that we just defined, and all the layers in all of the objects that are open were combined right here. Now I didn't lose this object or this object. It actually created a new one, and this is great. Whenever the best example I can think of and why I loaded this robot object is a lot of times I take a robot and I break it up into individual layers to load into layout. But then every once in a while I just want to get a good render of it, and it would be real handy to be able to just collapse them all down into one object to have to keep up with, and this does exactly that. Very powerful, very easy to use, and one of the new features in Lightwave 8.